choosing the right parts for building your PC is absolutely essential, especially if you're building it for the first time. Even pros make the mistake of going overkill with their parts when they don't need that amount of power. And if you're building your PC for the first time, you really don't want to overcomplicate stuff for yourself. My MacBook Pro was getting a bit old, and I've watched so many PC building videos that I decided to build one. In this video, I'll show you how and why I chose these parts. Now this PC is not only for editing but also for gaming. I have been able to run every game from Far Cry 5 to Cyberpunk 2077 on this without a hiccup. Most of the things that I bought have helped me cut down the price hike of the GPU. Total amount of it has costed me, I cannot believe I've forgotten the price it cost me. I'll put it right here. And like those kind of NZXT white Elite H510 cases, I'll put up a picture here. These cases look very good with RGB. Finding a white PC cabinet on the cheap side was a challenge in itself, but I came across this Farah F1 Silverstone case. It is very good in terms of airflow. You'll find the case IO wires on the back. It has a honeycomb mesh in the front of the case, ensuring good airflow even if you do not use front intake fans. You don't want to get into those mini ITX cases on the first time that you're building your PC because those are overly complicated and you don't want to troubleshoot the multiple problems you will have building it for the first time. In fact, building this build, I had over 7 to 8 issues, which was so irritating that it took me about 5 to 6 hours to resolve them. I completed this build in 2 days. After scouring through many YouTube reviews and Reddit threads, I finally found this cheap motherboard from Gigabyte. It is, I believe, A320M S2H. It takes 3rd generation Ryzen processors. You get an IO shield with the motherboard which goes on the back of the PC cabinet, and you get a SATA cable with the motherboard to connect the hard drive or the SSD, that whichever you plan to use in your build. Using Ryzen 7 or Ryzen 9 with this motherboard is definitely not advisable. I would rather go with something low powered like the Ryzen 5 or the Ryzen 3. The Ryzen 5 3600 has 6 cores and 12 threads, which is more than good enough for the kind of work that I'll be doing. I'm not going for 4K editing, although I'm pretty sure it will be able to handle some of it. I haven't tried it yet, but I've mainly just tried out 1080p editing, and scrubbing through timeline and everything else, exporting to is very comparable to my old MacBook Pro from 2017, I believe. Remove these standoffs. You won't need them if you're using the stock AMD cooler that you get with the CPU. Pick up the CPU from the sides. Do not touch the pins. They will bend or break very easily. Put the CPU in the CPU socket, matching the arrow on the CPU with the CPU socket. Close the latch. Screw in the screws of the air cooler diagonally opposite to each other, loosely, and when you're done with all 4 of them, then tighten them. It will make the installation of the air cooler much easier. Otherwise, it just keeps popping up from either side. Even though it's been a while since Ryzen 5 3600 came around, it is still, in my opinion, a very good choice for budget build, especially if you get it on a discount. Currently, while I was looking at Amazon this morning, it was for 23,000 something. That is nowhere near the price that I got for. I got it for around, I believe, 17,000. So you gotta watch out for these prices if you're buying this from Amazon or any other local retail stores, because the prices tend to fluctuate a lot, especially for CPUs. RAM is pretty much straightforward. You put it in the RAM slot and then you press on either side, and when you hear a click, then the RAM is installed. Now, an important point here is that you need to make sure that your RAM sticks are the right size for your motherboard. Sometimes a bulky RAM stick can get in the way of the air cooler. This is a 500GB M.2. You can go higher or lower as per your requirement. I'm basically going to install Premiere on this M.2 and use it for whatever current project that I'm editing. Then I'm going to dump those files into the hard drive. Now I chose a 2TB hard drive, 7200 RPM. You can go higher or lower as per your requirement. Here on the bottom is the hard drive cage. You can fit up to 2 hard drives in it. The case comes with screws to install the motherboard in the case. Installing the front IO part cable is pretty easy. It usually is on the bottom right corner of the motherboard. You need to check the manual of your motherboard to find the exact location, because it might not be the same as it is in my case. So let's come to the point. There is no way you're going to find a well-priced or a decent priced GPU right now, especially in India. I've been in queues for a 3060 Ti, 3070, 3080, but I haven't been able to get any of them. So I bought this GTX 1650 Super at exorbitant prices, something around 27,000, which is still cheaper than the prices you will see online. This will be the easiest part of the build. Remove these PCI slot shields to slot in the GPU. Also remove this vertical one. Unless you have an old card or you're willing to wait, this right now does not look like a good time to buy a GPU. So there's a correlation between the CPU and the GPU. The CPU needs to be able to process the amount of frames being rendered by the GPU. Otherwise, the lagging will still happen. Even if you have powerful GPU, you will bottleneck the CPU. This, in my opinion, is a perfect pair of Ryzen 3600 and 1650 Super. So far, every game I've played has been superb without even a single frame drop. Now this PSU I ordered for a different project. It is 500 watts. I made sure that the combination of the CPU and the GPU's TDP is lower than the wattage of the PSU. It is always a good idea to have a little headroom in the power supply. Now when you whip out the PSU, do not be intimidated by the number of wires it has. Tackle them one by one and it will be an easy process. Since this PSU had two Molex cables, I ordered two cheap Molex fans which aren't that cheap, around 600 bucks. I just wanted to make use of all the cables. That's the OCD in me. The 24-pin wire from the PSU is pretty obvious one. It goes right here in the motherboard. The 6-pin goes into the GPU and the 4-pin goes to the top left corner of the motherboard. Again, make sure to consult your manual. Next step, I slotted in the hard drive into its cage, and then we can proceed with the RGB Molex connector fans, which I will be connecting to the top of the case. These cheap fans do have very bad screws. It took a lot of effort to screw them in. Now the first time you're making a PC, do not worry about cable management. Just make sure the damn thing works first. I did minimal management here, as you can see, and which I would advise you to do too if you're building it for the first time. Now even such low priced average mid-range parts have done a fantastic job for me. They are good for both 1080p editing and gaming. Make sure that the amount that you're spending on building a PC is relative to the work that you'll be doing. It turned out pretty great. I didn't even have a monitor, so I used an old TV to boot it up. If you've made it through to this part of this video, thank you for watching. Make sure you go down and press some buttons like the like and subscribe one. That will make sure that more people see this and help this channel grow. I will see you the next time.